So, like I said, I'm going to continue just knocking out these videos just to kind of sift through all the information that I've had over the last few months since last year. Um, but from the last video, maybe the next day. Um, so that night, my husband had a dream, and my husband's not a Christian. He does believe in God, but his walk and his journey is not the same as mine. Um, but anyways, he had a dream and he never really discusses them with me. But this one kind of was strange to him, so he decided to tell me about it. And I wrote it down because I realized I had written down what I had heard when I was going to sleep. Because when I am praying before bed, sometimes I have visions while I'm praying, or I hear, like God speaking to me. So, anyways, so his dream was basically he saw this old man from down south. It looked like not too much hair, with a baseball cap on, glasses, and he lived in a cabin in the woods. So this guy had left his house, and for some reason, my husband was now in his home, and he heard noises in the basement and decided to go downstairs into the basement. And in the basement, there were children in cages. So he told the children to be quiet so he can let them out and the guy wouldn't hear. But as the kids were getting out, the man came downstairs and saw this, and him and my husband started fighting. So the kids were escaping up the stairs, running out the door, and one brave little boy, about 8 years old, decided to help my husband. So he jumped on the guy and gave the opportunity for my husband and the child to run out the house. But on the way out, they were being chased, and the man ended up fighting my husband outside. And while they're rolling around in the dirt, my husband looked up at the entranceway of the door to the cabin, and he said he saw me. And I was looking at my husband sad. And then the door slammed on me, and I was in the house. And then he woke up. So that night that my husband had the dream, I was hearing in my head um, over and over again, children are important, children are important, children are important. And you would think that's obvious. Children are important. They're our future. They're innocent. We should be um, taking care of them and giving them the best life. But during this time, like I said, me and my sister and the women that we pray with together were praying for the world, and it became at some point very important to us to pray for children. We felt in our spirit that um, this was a time where children needed intercession because there were so many children being kidnapped and sex slaves out there, trafficked, and there are parents who aren't taking care of their children. Like in the news at that time, you were just seeing parents who allowed their partners who weren't, the biological parents to abuse the child. You were having children malnourished, tortured. It's really disgusting. And this, we know this happens for years. Has been going on. Like in our history, um, people aren't the greatest. But in this time, it just became very heavy on our hearts. So we've been praying for children. So I found it interesting that my husband, when we've been praying for this, had a dream about, saving children who were kidnapped. Um, and I had heard in my mind that we need to trust children what they are saying to us and believe what children have to say. Because too often, social services will not listen to the children, assuming they're too young, or they're just saying this because they're children, but most of the time there's truth behind it, and children are honest. Um, they're innocent. So we need to really look out for children, listen to them when they're talking. If they're saying that they're being hurt, or if they're saying that, someone is doing something they shouldn't be doing to them, or that they're hungry, and you should be asking them questions. Why are you hungry? Are your parents feeding you? Um, like, who is hurting you? Are you happy? Are you safe? Um, but this is something that's really important, and this is a topic that I'm really, not to say passionate about, but I have my own son, and he's little, and I would never want anything to happen to my son. And it breaks my heart to think about children having to deal with being abused, unloved, tortured, uh, ab- abandoned. Um, and then even for children that are in foster care being abused, it's disgusting. That's evil in this world. And that kind of is what made me, well, what was the thought in my mind when I heard my husband tell me about this, was that's something evil. Um, what's happening to children, this is evil in the world. Like, people think, oh, it's just bad people. No, this is there's a spiritual realm in the world, and there is evil attaching themselves to people that are opening themselves to this, and they are allowing themselves to just take advantage of children, innocent children. And we need to learn what's right and wrong, and we need to make those decisions, and we need to really like step up and help people. Like, I don't care who you're, like, I mind my business. No, when it comes to children, you don't mind your business. You help them. If you see they got bruises, you tell somebody, you call the cops. You see a child that looks malnourished, you call the cops. Like, let the cops handle it, but just because you're thinking, well, I don't know their situation, you don't know, but it could be a bad situation. Let the cops handle it and figure it out. But it's better to allow somebody to know and do something about it than to let it continue, and a child lose their life because you didn't say something. But um, this is something, that I feel is so terrible. And, no one should be okay with this. So I just wanted to share this with you. Um, I do have plenty more. I even have some dreams that my stepdaughter had, and my son, who was little, and he told me he had a dream, and it actually, has spiritual meaning. So I'm going to continue just knocking stuff out and letting you guys know about these things that I've had dreams about and visions about. I just want to really just unload everything and just be honest with people. And, I don't know everything. I'll be honest. Like, just because God is giving me this stuff, or just because I dream about this stuff, doesn't mean that I know exactly what the symbolism behind them are. So I am welcome to interpretation. Um, so I I will hold nothing against anybody. I don't mind getting feedback. So just thank you for listening, joining, and like I keep saying, you are loved. I love you guys. I'm interceding for everyone, and just stay safe. Okay? Bye.